Hello everybody, today is May 25th, 2021. Today I am going to make a gear video on the equipment that I am taking with me on the long trail. I'm supposed to start the day after tomorrow, 272 miles from the Massachusetts border to the Canadian border through the Green Mountains of Vermont. Never done a long distance hike before. I have backpacked before, so I've trimmed my gear down to what I think I will need. The list is dynamic, meaning it will always be changing. I may drop things on the trail and I may pick up new things on the trail. Initially starting out, we have 6 days of food. My brother and I aren't sure of our pace or how difficult the trail would be, so we're planning on hiking at least 6 days before we stop at a town to resupply. We may make it in 5. It may take us a little longer, but we brought 6 to allow us plenty of time. Anyway, my pack weight without water, which is 2.2 pounds per liter. I plan on carrying 2 liters, so that would be another approximate 4.5 pounds. My pack weight, as it stands right here, is 28 pounds, which seems like a lot, but that's 6 days of food. And normally when you're hiking, you count on 1.5 pounds to 2 pounds per day for food. Let's get to it. My backpack. Sorry about the wind. I'm in my yard. It's too dark in the house. And my backpack is a ULA Catalyst. I've had this pack for about 5 or 6 years. It's a rather large pack. I was hoping to get a smaller, lighter pack before now, but I procrastinated, and now I'm unable to obtain one in time for the beginning of our hike. Although I will say this is lighter than most packs. It has a large capacity, about 70 liters, and it's made by Ultralight Equipment in Utah, and the pack itself weighs a little more than 3 pounds. It's advertised at 48 ounces, but when I weigh it, I get 50 something. So it's a size medium. So starting on the outside, these are my camp shoes. Don't always use them, but I'm going to start out bringing them because if at the end of the day my feet are wet and tired, I want to have something dry to put on. They weigh approximately 8 ounces. They're from Amazon. I think they're called Emoji Garden Clogs. It's the lightest shoes I could find. On top here, I have what they call a Z-seat. It's just a piece of foam for sitting on. I also use it for a welcome mat for my tent, for when I climb in and out of my tent. I have something to put my knees on. And it's also a wind blocker for my stove if I need it. So it's multi-purpose, and it weighs only about 1 ounce, so I bring it. This is my baseball cap that I will be wearing. It folds up, and I have some sun gloves to keep my hands from getting blisters and from my hands getting sunburned, but most of all, I've treated these with permethrin to keep the black flies off of me, hopefully. This is what's called a Garmin Inreach. It is a GPS tracker. It works by satellite. I can send messages home that say I'm okay, and my wife can track where I am if I get into trouble. And if should I get in trouble, it has a SOS button that I can push, and it will send a signal by satellite to rescuers of my location, and I will be able to communicate with them, and they can come help me if I need it. I do a lot of hiking by myself, and that is why I have it. If I ever fall or something, I'll be able to signal for help. It's not the most, it's not 100% foolproof. It has to have a clear signal to the satellite. Sometimes I'm in a gully or behind a mountain and it can't get the signal, but as soon as I clear the obstruction, the signal does go through this to the satellite. I've had this for several years and it seems to work okay. Sunglasses in a hard case. I wear bifocals. I also have contacts, which I'm not bringing them on the trail because sanitation, you have to have really clean hands, and it's impossible to keep clean on the trail, and I don't want to get an eye infection. So these are prescription sunglasses. If my eyeglasses, if I trip, fall, stumble, or anything, if my glasses break, then I will be blind practically. So I'm bringing my prescription bifocal sunglasses that's used as sunglasses and a backup pair of glasses. Normally I would not bring that extra weight. This is my raincoat, weighs about 6 ounces. Also serves as a windbreaker. These are rain pants, also serves as wind pants, although I would get a little clammy if I used them for that. This is my toilet kit, which is toilet paper, a little trowel to dig a cat hole if need be. I've got some dude wipes or moist wipes, baby wipes, and some hand sanitizer. This is my first day's lunch. It's some tuna fish and a tortilla. Keep the first day's lunch on the outside, and when you break for lunch, you don't have to open up your pack. I'm not leaving for 2 days, but because tomorrow I have to travel, I have to have everything ready to go. Insect spray, 100% DEET. This is a cover for my backpack if it rains, which it will rain. Helps keep the pack dry. The pack is not waterproof, it's water resistant, Robic nylon, and this will help keep the water to a minimum. Although I'm certain water will get in. My tent stakes. I keep my tent stakes on my outside pouch so they don't poke a hole in anything that's on the inside of my pack, and they don't poke a hole in from the inside of my pack to the outside of my pack. This is my Gatorade Pea Bottle, so I don't have to get out of the tent at night. Being an old guy, I have to pee often at night, which might be too much personal information, but oh well. This is trucking poles, which I normally would not keep them here. I only have them here for travel, and they also do double duty as my tent poles. These are just some hydration Propel or Neo electrolytes that I can add to my water. I have an excess amount. It's just I brought all I had, so I don't have to worry about buying more. I could probably cut back on it, save some weight, but you just put a little bit in your water, especially when you're sweating a lot. This is my water filter. I have a Sawyer Squeeze Bag, and I had an old bag that I cut the top, and that's to scoop water if I have to. And this weighs about 3 ounces. smart water bottle. I go back and forth between carrying an Nalgene bottle, which weighs about 6 ounces, a lightweight Nalgene bottle weighs about 3 ounces, and one of these weighs about 1 ounce. So I've also been known to carry a water bladder. The water bladder system weighs about 4 ounces, but the trouble is you can't tell how much water you have left, and then when you're out of water you have to open your pack up to fill it up, which is kind of a pain. So I have decided to go with the smart water bottle system like most long distance hikers. I have a couple carabiner clips here. They weigh almost nothing. That's my croquis for my glasses. For some reason I have two. I fear my glasses being lost, believe me. This is a loop to hang my Crocs on, or emojis. I have a big pin, so if I have wet socks, I can hang them to dry during the day. On the front straps, I have a water bottle carrier. That's my second water bottle. So I carry approximately 2 liters of water. This one I put a sport cap on. I have another sport cap somewhere, but last time I just switched the caps. It's not a big deal. And that's a pack add-on. I carry a little Thermometer Whistle magnifier thing at kind of a club trademark for my family. All of us carry them. Just noticed the whistle. The compass isn't working too well. But this is a little pouch I have for putting my phone in. I have hip belt pockets on the left side, some sunblock, insect head net, a handkerchief, a bandana, my headlight, compass, and I'll have my map in there, my long trail map, and a pen in case I need to write something. I always carry the bandanas, wipe my glasses, wipe my sweat, use it for a face cloth, use it for a napkin. Usually I carry my headlight inside my pack, but I decided for this trip to carry it on the outside in case it gets late while I'm still hiking. I don't normally carry sunblock, but for this trip I had my head cut back, hair cut back real short, and I don't want to get sunburn on top of my head. And this right side is where I keep my snacks for the day. Some trail mix, some fruit gushers. That's how I'm getting my fruit and vitamins. And I think I have a power bar. Usually in the morning I'll eat the trail mix. In the afternoon I just save the bar. I don't always eat a power bar, but if we're doing a climb or I feel myself getting tired, I'll take a few bites of the power bar. I seldom eat the whole thing at once. If I eat a couple bites, I'll save the rest of it for the next day. So inside the pack, on top, my tent, Z-Pax Duplex. It weighs 19 ounces. Next is my food bag. This is loaded down. I did a little separate thing on the food. This is 6 days worth of breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks. It weighs a ton. Never hiked with that much before, and probably way too much. However, for the first week anyway, until I get a routine down, that's what I'm going with. This is my cooking system, pot, probably, if you watch my videos, you've seen me use it before. There's a fuel canister in here. There's my stove, the BRS stove from Amazon. It's like 14 bucks. It weighs less than an ounce. Cigarette lighter to light the stove. And I made this little, they call it cozy, out of Reflectex as an insulator. And I, a lot of times, will repackage food into freezer bags and use this insulator so I can hold the freezer bag and not burn my hands, but it also holds the heat in so the food can cook properly. Underneath that, oh, I have a spare fuel can again. We're going 6 days. One can will last 6, but I'm not sure about the resupply situation, so I'm bringing one extra can, which is an extra 6 to 8 ounces. Just kind of ridiculous, but I don't want to run out of fuel. And then after the week or two, I'll know how much I'm using, so I know how much to carry. Previous backpacking trips, I've done only 2 or 3 days at a time, and 1 can of fuel was plenty. You can see I line my backpack, the lower part, with any clothes or sleeping stuff that could get wet. I line it with a trash compactor bag just as an extra layer of protection. So I will have a pack cover on the outside to minimize the amount of water that gets in, and then I have this compactor bag to help keep what's inside dry. And here I have this is my pillow. It's a pillow stuff sack from Headlight Mountain Gear, made here in Maine. It's the best pillow that I've come up with. I've tried the air inflated, I've tried others. This weighs practically nothing, and it serves double purpose as carrying gear. Normally you could put this inside out, but I just keep the pillow part on the outside. And in here is my cold weather fleece, and I have a vest. Normally I would hike with a puffy jacket. However, it's going July, it's end of May, it's going to be June, it's going to be warm. I think in the morning I could wear the fleece vest if it's cold. The fleece, and then if I'm still cold, I can layer up with the vest. Between the fleece and the vest, it probably weighs the same as the puffy jacket, but it gives me more options. I also have a pair of gloves and a Polar Tech turtle fur beanie that weighs about an ounce. So altogether this weighs about 10 ounces. Inflatable Sleeping Pad. This is the Thermarest Neo Ear X-Lite. I've had the Neo Ear for approximately 5 years, and this last time I went backpacking last fall, it developed a slow leak. They have a lifetime guarantee, so this winter in January I contacted Thermarest and they had me send it in. If they find a leak and it's something that punctured it, your fault, it's $20 to have it fixed. If it's something that's their fault, they replace it. And what happened was they said it was a defective pad, so they replaced it. It took me 2 months to get it, but they did replace it at no cost. Apparently they claimed there was a delay because they couldn't get the materials to make the new pads. However, I don't buy it. 2 months I didn't hear from them. I called them after 1 month, I called them after 2 months. They didn't send an email, they didn't send an acknowledgement that to receive my pad. But after 2 phone calls, they sent me a new pad. This is my clothes. I'm carrying an excess amount. And that is because, again, going in June, I'm planning on starting out with wearing a long sleeve shirt and long pants because of black flies. because of mosquitoes and because of poison ivy. And, however, if I find they're not bad, I will switch to a t-shirt and shorts. The t-shirt weighs about 3 ounces and this shorts weighs about 3 ounces, so that's 6 extra ounces I'm carrying, which I really normally would not carry. I have extra socks and sock liners. A buff for my head. You can use it for anything actually. I don't know why I'm carrying it, but I always do. This is a sleep shirt. It's a long sleeve Eastern Mountain Sports technical shirt to sleep in. There's my extra socks, a pair of high socks, a pair of low socks. My pandemic mask. I'll probably bring 2 of those. And this is this light one that I'm carrying just in case I lose one. And a pair of underwear, ex officio underwear. And a pair of socks to sleep in. Wool socks. Now, I normally hike in the Don Chuff wool socks. However, the last couple of times my feet have really sweat a lot. It makes my shoes smell. So I'm trying some Cool Max socks too this time. I don't want to throw my clothes on the ground, so I'm just putting them back in the bag. Ask yourself, what does a backpacker do when he's not backpacking? Well, it's simple. He plays with gear. He's always fiddling with it. That's why I say it's dynamic, always changing. Oh, I'll carry this, I'll carry that, I'll get this. This is my electronics bag. I have a Anchor Power 10,000 amp battery to keep my phone charged. Normally when you see me video, I'm on a GoPro camera. However, I'm not bringing that this time because it would involve extra batteries, extra charging cords, extra charger, and the microphone on it that I have, the external microphone, I've been having problems with it making scratchy sounds. So the last few videos, you notice I didn't do much talking because the sound quality was so poor. I had to turn off the sound and just put music. That isn't what I want to do for this hike. So I'm going to video with my phone. I have AirPods. I have an iPhone 12. I also have headphones. So what else do I have? Some eyeglass lens wipe. I have to put a couple more in there. Power block to charge things. And earplugs. I don't know what else I have. Spare batteries for my headlight. One time I was hiking and my batteries went dead, so carry spares. And a pen that lights up when you turn it on. Got that for Christmas from Debbie. And getting down to the bottom, last but not least, my sleeping bag, which I pretty much use as a quilt. It's a Z-Pack, 20 degrees, had it for a long time. I have 2 sleeping bags. I have a 10 degree REI Magma, and I have this one. And at one time or twice, I went out and I froze, so I went and got the 10 degree. But come June, I don't think I need that. This is probably going to be too warm, so I'll just stick with it. And lastly, first aid kit. Although this says medical kit and you buy it in a store like this, basically I've stripped out all the guts and just put in what I need. Some afterbite for bug bites. I have some KT tape that would be, you can use it as a knee brace, arm brace, foot brace, any ache and pain. Instead of getting a knee brace, you can just tape it. So it's multi-use. So I have, I don't know, 10 pieces or something. So if I have to make knee braces, I can do my knees. If I have foot problems, plantar fasciitis, I can use that. I have some blister, run and blister relief, whatever they are. Someone just gave them to me. Some moleskin. And what else? Some Advil, some Tylenol, some Benadryl, and I think there's some Tums. Just some, I don't like taking pills. It's Band-Aids. And, oh, that's more moleskin. I have a tick remover that was given to me. And, well, I see a lot of hikers that make it, they call it vitamin I, ibuprofen. Take 2 or 3, they'll get aches and they'll take them, but what they don't realize is ibuprofen is metabolized through your kidneys, and you're already dehydrated, so your kidneys are under stress. You take a lot of ibuprofen, you're stressing out your kidneys even more. You can have kidney failure, you can cause all kinds of problems if you take too much. Once you damage your kidneys and you have to get dialysis, that's no fun. So I avoid it. And on the other hand, Tylenol is metabolized through your liver. If you drink alcohol and take Tylenol, that's very bad for your liver. I have a fatty liver, I avoid Tylenol. So I have it in case I really need it, but I avoid it. And that's all I've got. 28 pounds worth. I don't understand if I weigh it all individually except for the food.